So I guess with the breaths, and you're probably familiar with yoga and your own practice. So I guess this will probably be more practical in the sense that we want to kind of expand that into not just your breath, but even our thoughts or sensations coming up, the people doing the construction, or even our thought of the construction. So, I mean, it's not necessarily just an exercise or practice. So this is why I'm starting off with like kind of like a foundation, kind of words describing the process so that it keeps connected, anchoring into your own subjective reality with your own process, but you'll intuitively get it because we're one. Because ultimately the foundation is we're all one. The foundation, even the thoughts, sensations, but we forgot. The automatic mind keeps on creating that sense of separation, that there's nothing is actually random in the point of the whole universe being here in this moment, in the local point of now. And that the thoughts, the separation of I'm a body, I'm here, you're there, is still an assumption that we're trying to break through. We may intuitively kind of understand this, that we're all one, but to really like break that veil, that we're actually just consciousness talking to consciousness. And that receiving part is continual. It is the soul's journey of continuing this practice and layering. And you'll have your own intuitions, insights, processes to keep on going with the purification. Maybe is another word I like to look at it, is the purification, meditating on the meditator. And you'll see that it's not even the body meditating, but it is consciousness realizing more of consciousness. And that is almost like a doubling effect. You can visualize it like a trampoline of you're more in this space and less in the default mode of I am this person doing this, I am this person talking, I am this person receiving or knowing. And then it becomes more of an automatic flow that's always available. We just, like I said, we forgot because of the thoughts or the descriptions, the stories, the narratives, the condensations of they're out there, or you're out there, or we're out there, and that everything is just one flow. Everything is completely inner and subjective. Another concept is like infinite subjectivity, or subjectivity of the experiencer, which is in that field. So awareness in this session, in this framework, would be, I would describe it as like the background, that even if your eyes are closed, it's still there. If it's open, it's still closed. Or sorry, if it's open, awareness is still there. When you're meditating, it's still there. When you're eating, sleeping, awareness is always there. It's the background, common denominator of everything. But when there's form, you could even say presence, the presence, not just the present moment, but presence energy of what's coming into your awareness, what's coming into the background. So another analogy would be like a canvas. That blank canvas is awareness. And then what arises, like your paintbrush, how you want to paint, that's going to be presence. It's what's coming into the screen. Awareness is the screen, and then presence is what's coming up in the screen. So we kind of have that distinction because it is a big distinction, it is an important distinction, so that we could see that we could always train our awareness to place that awareness on something. I could place my awareness on my voice, I could place my awareness on my hands, I could place my awareness on the walls, I could place my awareness in making a coherent sentence or listening, but that's always on the background, but it's movable. Presence is shared. It is relative to what you're seeing and your own definitions and belief systems and narrative on that part. And it's going to be here. So the part of being here, as in there's relevance to this moment. Time doesn't exist in the concept, or it is a concept in the mind and it's subjective, but even if you zoom out, I guess, in another dimension, or the universe doesn't see time, only our subjective mind. And there's like esoteric texts who say like time is illusion or everything is mental. So literally with that given, only consciousness exists. So the consciousness will be your common denominator, or like your cosmic ocean, but you're part of that. You're that placeholder of creating that. Like you're conscious of my voice, or there's no way you could be unconscious. You could ask yourself, how can I not be conscious? And you can't. Consciousness is always there. And it's not the same as like brain consciousness, or you're sleeping or you're awake. It's pervading. And you kind of get more of a feel and experience of this through this kind of like fluid motion, that it's always there. You can't change it. You're conscious of the movement. You're conscious of the voice. You're conscious of there's a knower. There's a knower, that there's the senses. And that's partly what the main thing of consciousness, and that's truer to who we are as identity. And that identity shift from the body or even the mind to consciousness or awareness. So with that, the breath is always a nice starter to look into. There's a bridge after that. So when I'm like breathing, my attention, my awareness goes to my breath, but simultaneously, what is still here? There's still the room, this conversation, Zoom, this world. It's all in the background, but even all of the background is still contained from our background of the background awareness. So awareness is still the main ingredient. Without awareness, there's no existence. Without awareness, the universe wouldn't exist. Without the awareness, we wouldn't even have this conversation or projection or narrative or meaning. So again, it's like, that's how powerful we really are. We're not the body. We're not limited to this finite physical vehicle. The body is a vehicle. It's almost like a channel, an instrument for who we really are, which is awareness. And even bigger than that is infinite awareness, or source. And that's where the expression can come in from the body, that the body's behavior or thought patterns is not necessarily random. It could feel random, but there's also if you zoom out more on the scale that there's this huge infinite universe, there is a movement, there is like a certain resonance or vibration of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our patterns, because it's symbiotic. There's this sense of we're separate from the universe, we're separate from Earth, we're separate from each other, we're separate from the body, the other people, human beings, but really it's one like cosmic soup of oneness. But we have this self-awareness thing, mechanism, and we've collected a lot of our genetics and generational stuff, culture, belief systems, and everything that makes it seem that we're separate, and we can build up fear or doubt because that's conditioned and programmed as well. So the more we see and feel and go back into that meditative state of it's already here, the awareness is already here. You can't change awareness, you can't change consciousness. It's always going to be here. And the more tension we feel with the thought or emotion, we can see that it is like a tension part, like a friction that is also intelligent in a way that it gives guidance into why that's happening. Like it may not feel like it's random and they could just be triggers, but it can be for the best healing purposes, because your higher self doesn't want to hurt you. It wants you to learn the lesson. So every moment is a learning mechanism. It's a learning experience from your higher self to guide you to connect into deeper truths of who you truly are. You can't deny who you truly are, because who you truly are is infinite. It's like it can never be limited, but we still can perceive or feel or sense that we are limited, that we are a limited body, we are a limited mind or spirit. So it can be confusing, and we can cry, or we can be angry, or we could hurt ourselves or hurt other people, not necessarily not knowing who we truly are, but because of this momentum of energy of how we've been thinking for so many years and even generations and culture to reinforce that. So, I mean, trying to just getting that spark of why this practice is important, that you could train it every second, every nanosecond, because that's who you truly are. And every nanosecond is actually billions and billions and billions of realities. We kind of forgot that too, but this like movement, I don't have the full grasp of this understanding, but I'm kind of getting closer. But I heard this a few years ago where it's like movement doesn't really exist. It's just parallel realities. And then there's like an illusion of parallel realities happening each nanosecond. Our consciousness is tuning in. So it's not like my body is tuning in, but literally consciousness is tuning in into this body, this Zoom call, you, everything together on Earth, and to make a configuration to make this moment now. So how we even see and have the cognitive structure of these things, of how life is, how reality is still not fully investigated too. But we have things that work and are effective, and things that we just pick up from other people or other belief systems. But no belief system is probably the most accurate, because even our source doesn't have a belief system. It's only when we're investigating that we create these belief systems of energy. Our true nature is infinity. Our true nature is divinity. Our true nature is God, Brahman, the source, all that is, like love, joy, grace.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a few deep breaths again. And really letting go of whatever I said and connecting back into your center. Visualize a golden sphere of light, and that light extends to a sphere 10 feet out all around, and the sphere gets bigger and bigger and more expansive, almost like an orb. And this orb extends all the way out to the cosmos. The cosmos gets the signal and connects back to the sphere, and connects back to you and your body and your mind. And it goes back into the golden sphere and extends back to Earth and extends back to the cosmos. And kind of leave this visualization that it connects back into Earth, connects back into the golden sphere, and it connects back to your body, mind, and spirit. It connects back into the golden sphere all around you, back to Earth, and back to the cosmos. Allow yourself to just build this pattern and this rhythm on your own pace. When you feel like it, you can visualize a big fluffy cloud, big white cloud, almost like you're in that cloud and your body disappears and that you actually are that cloud. And you get into that depth and flavor and texture of the cloud, really being this white fluffy cloud. Kind of create that shape of it, feeling of it, texture of it. And allow yourself to just keep yourself there. If it goes back to thought or the body or earth, then you just connect back into the shape, the color, the high def part of the cloud. Being and embodying it. When you feel like you have a good grasp of the cloud, you can drop the cloud and connect into the pure blue sky, connecting into the sky-like substance. There's nothing but the sky, and you create that air sensation of the sky, that really subtle blankness of the sky. And really hold yourself there, connect with that level of the sky. And if there's any emotions that come up, just move this energy upwards to the heart area, giving it back to awareness, allowing source to come through and funneling the mind body. And with any trigger or emotion or anything that comes up, you can always come back to the space of the blue sky or the white fluffy cloud and connect into that energy, that spaciousness, that expansiveness. And that you're more like that than the actual body, than any thought, sensation, narrative, interpretation. You are more of the infinite sky. You are space. You are God. You can slowly come back to the cloud, soak in the cloud's energy, noticing the difference of the subtleties and the nuance, layers, feelings, sensations. And then go back to the golden sphere of light all around you, protection and guidance from your source and higher self. Funneling that back to the crown on your physical head, balancing your left and right hemispheres, funneling this energy towards your face, opening up the third eye and the mind's eye, connecting into your face, your nose, your lips, channeling down to your throat, to your shoulders, to your heart space and chest, to the top of your abdomen and stomach, to your hips, to your legs, and to your feet, and create a 200-foot pole from the soles of your feet, harnessing this energy, magnetizing towards earth, connecting to Mother Gaia's energy, also creating that loop again back to the universe, to the cosmos, to the stars and everything in between, earth, plants and animals, Mother Gaia, people, atoms and molecules, all going back into your energy centers, letting that flow continue to loop around and around and around. That you're not separate from these things. In fact, you are all of these things and beyond, the creator of all of this. Relax and let these energies flow and integrate on your own rhythm. And when you feel like coming back, you can slowly come back.